Uh-oh. Sounds like somebody's got a case of the Mondays.
Gee, Matt, you sure have a lot to do today. Yes, I do. Lots of small things that add up to one big day, huh? Yeah, I guess so. Doesn't that feel overwhelming? Well, it didn't before you said it. Don't you feel so exhausted all the time? Hey, can you shut up? Nope! No, I cannot! Let's get overwhelmed before we start a single thing and then go waste 4 hours on our phone. Panic cause nothing is done. Waste time on your phone again. You just wasted your whole day. Isn't mental illness the greatest? Isn't mental illness the greatest?
Is that ham processed? If it's processed, I don't want it. Ma'am, that is an 11-pound whole slab of deli ham. It has no bones, fat, or connective tissue. It is an amalgamation of the meat of several pigs, emulsified, liquefied, strained, and ultimately inexorably joined in an unholy meat obelisk. God had no hand in the creation of this abhorrence. The fact that this ham monolith exists proves that God is either impotent to alter his universe or ignorant to the horrors taking place in his kingdom. This prism of pork is more than deli meat. It is a physical declaration of mankind's contempt for the natural order. It is hubris manifest. We also have a lower sodium variety if you would prefer that.
Mother, my brother, and I have a request for dinner.
Out with it then?
The delegation has come to a verdict. We would like Olive Garden for dinner.
Olive Garden? What an audacious request.
We will also take McDonald's as a compensatory selection.
Do you have the treasury for your demands?
Are you asking if I have McDonald's money?
Perhaps.
Mother, please. My brother and I have been eternally faithful to this house. We will use your funds for the Olive Garden campaign.
I expect you're aware of the leftover spaghetti in the fridge.
Yes, I am. Now would be a good time to mention I got an A on my algebra test.
How convenient. Now, tell me, when did you receive this A?
Last month.
A month ago. You waited 4 whole weeks to tell me of this victory so you could leverage it for Olive Garden? Do you see me as cattle for you to milk whenever you grow thirsty?
You said we could choose what we wanted, and this is our decision.
Answer the question, boy. Am I Midas? Am I made of gold?
I will rake the leaves, and I'll vacuum all the floors. Mother, please, just hear our cries.
Does he speak for you?
My brother was out of line, yes. I wanted McDonald's, but his ambition convinced me to take up arms in his crusade.
So you're both greedy. I have raised seagulls.
I am no seagull.
Get the spaghetti out the fridge.
Mother! Liar! Brother! You witch! You'll rule this day!
Barry Smith King, Merrimack College.
Kyle Royal, Smoochie Wallace, University, Miami.
Desquarius Green Jr., University of Notre Dame.
Ibrahim Moises, University of Tennessee at Chattanooga.
Jack Marius Tacktheratrix, Michigan State University.
The Isaiah T. Billings Clyde, Coastal Carolina University.
The Jasper Probencrux III, South Carolina State University.
Lee Oz Maxwell Jr., East Carolina University.
Javaris and Lamar, University of Middle Tennessee.
Dwayne Showerhandle, University of Southern Mississippi.
Hingle McCringleberry, Penn State University.
Le Carpetron Duke Marriott, Florida Atlantic University.
Quatro, San Jose State University.
Ozymataz Buckshank, Stanford University.
Scoys Velociraptor Malois, South Dakota State University.
TJAJRJ / 4th the 5th, Albion College.
San Diego State University.
Donkey Teeth, Boise State University.
Torque. Lewis, Nevada State Penitentiary.
Dan Smith, BYU.
Wow, Travis Kelce dating Taylor Swift. That's pretty cool. Unless they broke up in the middle of the season. Yeah, well, I'm sure if they did, it would be fine. Oh, totally, yeah. How long do her flings usually last? I mean, I don't follow her life or anything, but I think the average is like 6 weeks. That'd be like, what, week 9 against the Dolphins? Big game, yeah. Oh, pivotal. But all of her breakups have been like amicable, right? And I'm not like a big Swiftie or anything, but I think it's been cool for everybody. Except for Joe Jonas, Jake Gyllenhaal, Harry Styles, the guy from Owl City. Obviously, John Mayer? What happened with John Mayer? He hasn't smiled since 2009. How long do the breakups last? One was over text, one was 25-second phone call. But that's when the guy does it, Joe Jonas style. You ever heard of Joe Allen? No, how do you know this stuff? I don't. These are only whispers. What happened to him? Some say he's dead. Codswallop, in my opinion. I think he's out there somewhere, biding his time, too weak to carry on. But he's got Mahomes. Their chemistry is... Taylor doesn't let her boyfriends have chemistry with anyone else. She weeds it out, root and stem. Again, I'm not a big Swiftie. Well, maybe they'll date long enough to get through the whole season and, past the Super Bowl. Do you know what the week before the Super Bowl is? It's the Grammys. That's when Taylor Swift shits out whatever man she just had for breakfast. I'll never forget 2013. She put Harry Styles in a clown suit. Not that I follow any of this stuff.
There it is, a touchdown to Kelsey.
Hi, I'm from the Department of Words. We need a word for people who struggle reading and writing long words. Dyslexia.
What?
Dyslexia.
Right. How'd you spell that?
Dyslexia. That seems needlessly unfair, but okay. We also need a word for the speech condition that affects the letter S. Lisp.
Oh, come on, man. You can't name the condition something they can't say.
And finally, we need a word for the fear of long words. No, you wouldn't.
Why?
Because chaos reigns.
I heard the other day, an old street joke. This is really fun. Okay. I like this. A guy's going through the woods, and he sees a lamp on the ground, and a genie comes out of it. And he goes, "Oh, whoa, a genie!" And Genie goes, "All right, you got 2 wishes. Let's go." And he goes, "2? I thought it was always 3. What kind of genie only grants 2 wishes?" And the genie goes, "Look in your pants." And he opens his pants. He goes, "Whoa, my is huge." And the genie goes, "Yeah, I've been doing this for a long time."
All these kids, they love the 90s, big 90s trends. You love the 90s so much? Go wait for the bus. Go wait for the bus with no cell phone or anything. Look at your feet. Look at your feet for 10 minutes. Then look up at the tree. Yeah, you're bored? Go look at your feet again. What else are you gonna do? You're gonna take a rock, throw it at a stop sign for 25 minutes? You love the 90s so much, you then go sit after soccer practice and your mom is late. And the coach took all the balls. And you're cold and you're sweaty. Sit there and just kind of look at your feet a little bit. Just look back at the goalposts. And look back at the feet and go look at the curb. Kind of sit on the curb maybe and look up at the fence. You guys love the 90s so much?
Let me ask you something. When you come in on Monday and you're not feeling real well, does anyone ever say to you, "Sounds like someone has a case of the Mondays"?
No. No, man. Shit, no, man. I believe you get your ass kicked saying something like that, man.
From Filthy Martini Studios in Ontario, California, it's the foosball Show!
Hey, what is up, everyone? I am Josie.
And I'm Steph.
Thank you all so very much for listening into the foosball Show, and a special thanks to you Foos who subscribe, rate, review, and share the pod with your fellow Foos. Remember to follow, like, and comment on our Instagram at foosball Show. That's FOO Bar Show, and we'll foo it up like a couple of foos. Ain't that right, Steph?
Meow, meow.
Steph, today's going to be a good one. You want to know why?
Why?
Because we got tons to talk about, including the LA Comic-Con that we just went to, and Mr. Derp McSnurp, the Godzilla.
Derpy McDerpy.
-1. The movie that we just saw yesterday, and we caught a matinee. It was nice catching it, with very little people in the movie theater, but we'll get into that a little bit later. What else are we covering? Is that it? Pretty much?
Yeah, we're just full on geeking out today.
Can I start with something with a bit of a celebration of sorts?
Please.
We don't do sports on this podcast anymore, but I do have to say that as a Dodger fan, I think we have some championships in our future.
Oh.
I think that Mr. Ohtani will do marvels for the Los Angeles Dodgers fan base, and he was being severely underutilized with the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim for the last several years. That team, those poor bastards, had this generation's Babe Ruth and this generation's Mickey Mantle with Trout. And they could not surround these two great players with like some competent teammates, and they were always just shit in the bed year after year. And I can imagine that I don't know about Trout, he's getting paid, but Ohtani, I mean, he's a champion.
Yeah.
And he has that champion mentality. It's no surprise that at the end of last season, he's just like, I'm injured. I'm out of here. And he just cleaned out his locker and bounced. Yeah.
Just coughs out. Why do you think the Angels could not provide that team?
Cheap. I'm sure it's money. And just mismanagement. I don't know. I don't really read too much into Angels news. But I mean, that's just looking from afar. What else could it be? Just aside from mismanagement and
budget cuts,
budgetary restrictions. Who knows, man? But I am excited. I started parading around the house when I heard the news.
You sure did. You screamed from the bathroom,
"Ohtani's coming!"
And I was just like, "What is going on?" I had to think for a split second. Ohtani.
Yeah. So, for all my fellow Dodger fans, it's happening.
Congratulations.
The highest paid contract in MLB history of $700 million over a 10-year period. But when you break it down, it's only $70 million per year after taxes. It's like maybe 40. I don't know, man. He got gypped.
Yeah.
No, man, that's insane. Expect prices to go up significantly at Dodger Stadium.
How much is it for a ticket now?
Shit. It's a good team already as it is, so you're gonna expect them to win. So no, shit, man. I remember when I was a little kid and the pavilion seats were like $7. Now I think an average are you looking this up? The average pavilion has got to be in the $20 range, maybe $30. So something up close, we're talking hundreds of dollars. But if you type in just a ticket in 2023,
let's go directly to the MLB.com website.
Yeah. So the average, let's see, ticket. Well, the season's over, so you're probably not going to find anything. But, you got something there?
I'm just going to randomly select a spring training one, which I know it's not going to be as much.
Well, it ranges from $30 to $85, but that's spring training. That's over in Glendale, Arizona.
These are like $40.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I do remember from this season, I really wanted to go because it had been such a long time since we've gone. Mm-hmm. And I think the average ticket for a good seat was like $97. And that's why we didn't go. And I'm just like,
well, let alone...
is that for 2 tickets? No. That's for 1 ticket before all the service charges. Not only that, but then you got to buy...
You got park?
You got to park?
You got to buy...
You have to buy a Dodger dog.
You have to. And that's already what, like...
A Dodger dog is like what?
It's $10. Let's just 12. Call it 10.
Yeah.
A beer is
$18.
That's before Ohtani too.
No, that's how much it is now.
Yeah, but Ohtani next year, that's gonna be in the 20s, lady.
And you're gonna have to get the nachos.
Yeah. It's gonna be insanely expensive, but you know what?
For a party of 2.
Yeah, imagine if you had a family.
Yeah, because, you got to take the kids.
Oh, jeez.
Party of 4. How much you're dropping, like, at least for good tickets? $100 a piece, right?
That's crazy, man. That's crazy.
You're already spending upwards of $500 just to get in.
Opening day is going to be insanely popular to try to even get in and get tickets to be there. So, I don't know. I'm down. I'm down. If there's anybody out there who's going, man, hit us up because I'm down like a clown in the ground.
Start recycling those cans.
Oh yeah, I've got aluminum ready to go. But I'm excited about that. I'm excited about being in second place in my fantasy football league.
Foosball.
In my fairytale foosball league. Right behind, if you would believe it. And I should have prepared for this. Here, I'll stall. No,
okay.
You're fine. All right, I'm right behind the person who's in first place is none other than
DJ No Chill.
DJ No Chill. Son of a bitch, man. He's been playing really well. He has Mahomes. He has McCaffrey. Those two alone have been doing wonders for his team.
So he picked his own team, huh?
No, he didn't.
No.
But nobody's calling him out on it. I mean, it's a 2-person team. It's him and his wife Lauren. But
collusion. That's what that is.
But still, they're winning, and so playoffs start next week for our league, and I'm in second place, which I hope to get a good spot in the bracket, and I'm trying to go all the way. I've never played fairytale foosball before in my entire life.
Yeah, you have. You played it once.
I didn't. I've been playing Pokemon.
No, didn't you play it once?
Virtually the same
or
thing.
You just went to the party?
I just went to the party. I got drunk while they all did their draft, but that wasn't me participating in the entire. In the entire league and everything like that, and the proceedings.
I have never seen you scream at the TV so much. It's just like you became one of those stereotypical guys watching football on a Sunday. What are you doing? Pass the ball.
No.
Yes. Don't even try to deny it.
Well, you see, what happened was
and the phone is just on to the stats of your
I'm looking at my stats.
And then just like every game. NFL Red Zone stats.
See, the thing is, because I'm a rookie in this league, I have something to prove. I have a chip on my shoulder, especially when, everybody's just like, oh, Joe doesn't know how to play foosball, much less, fantasy foosball, or he's gonna shit the bed, and I was getting flack and everything like that. So I got something to prove. But I'm fairly good at math and statistics. I was fairly good at Pokemon growing up, and virtually essentially fairytale foosball is you're playing Pokemon with ball players, except that that the stuff's happening in real time on the TV. So when I tell Charizard to give me Ember and he doesn't give me Ember, I'm pissed.
I'm gonna need you to take it down a notch.
Okay. Okay. But still, man. So I'm doing very well. But all that can change in the playoffs. I can get knocked out in the first round, and then there goes the season. And then apparently there's a curse in this league where the person who's in first place has usually gone down in the first round of the brackets in the playoffs. So if that trend continues, then I would be very happy to stay at second place where I'm at. So at least I have a chance to win the whole thing.
Okay.
Which means that DJ No Chill is going to go down.
Those sports superstitions are real.
Okay, here we go.
Yeah, oh my God. They are real for the fans and they're real for the players. Excuse me?
You mean
excuse me?
By that you mean that they really passionately believe in this shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. You've seen sports fans, they'll wear the cap inside out.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, I've seen that.
Or baseball players, they won't shave the entire season.
Yeah.
They gotta touch their necklace or whatever, do their little juju stuffs.
Right. I just look at stats, and I've been in second place, so I mean, I'll take that over the scratching my ass,
saying that it's real
at a specific time of the game.
And then that just proves my point that you wanted to stay in second place because you didn't want to fall into the curse of being in first place.
That's different.
Well, that's different then.
That's different.
Explain to me how it's different.
Without a shadow of a doubt, you are one of the biggest cunts walking the face of this earth.
So what do I say about that?
Unexplainable.
Yeah. So yeah. Anyway, that takes care of my sports chunk for for this episode. And before we get into Geeking Out, Steph, are we calling this the last proper episode of this season of 2023?
Of 2023. I believe so. It's just going to get crazy busy for the next... How many weeks we got left?
We got 2 or 3?
2-3 weekends left of the year. So
3, yeah.
3, yeah.
So, if I forget to say it at the tail end of the episode, I hope everybody has a Merry Christmas, Hanukkah, everything that you celebrate. I am celebrating Festivus this year.
Yes.
I put up my Festivus poll.
Mm-hmm.
I'm setting up the airing of grievances, the feats of strength, and that's happening on December 23rd, promptly from 4 p.m. to 10 p.m.
Okay.
And then everybody just goes home after that. As long as there's no tinsel, because of course, everybody who celebrates Festivus, we all find that distracting.
Tinsel. It is too much.
It's just no. So big ups to the Costanzas for bringing us the glory and the majesty that is Festivus.
Mm-hmm.
What are you celebrating this year?
Christmas.
Christmas. Okay.
Yes, Christmas. You got the Christmas. I got the Christmas sweater on, the Fender Christmas sweater with the rockin' T-Rex.
He's playing the guitar.
It says "Happy Rockin'
Holidays." Yeah, and he's got some gingerbread men right under. It's actually my sweater, Steph.
Yes, which you refused to wear to the Christmas party last night.
All right. It was just a party of hors d'oeuvres. By the way, I had a great time at Jessica and Dan's house. Thanks for having us.
Thank you. It was great.
But I felt like I was going to be wildly... I had a feeling on who was going to be there, and I knew I was just going to be wildly underdressed if I wore that.
Somebody else was wearing a Christmas sweater, though.
Yeah, but that kind of fit his personality.
I wouldn't expect anything less.
I wouldn't expect anything less from him. It was fun though, man. I got wine drunk. I don't get wine drunk so often.
It's very rare. It's probably been at least 5 years
since we got wine drunk.
Yeah,
a couple of winos.
But we were spacing it out with cheese and crackers, and oh my god, there was this butter.
This special butter. What was it? French butter?
I think it was French butter that she got from a cheese shop. In Cameron? Something like that. A little mantequilla.
Mantequilla, exactly.
Mantequilla.
Yeah, man. We had some mantequilla and a bunch of chingaderas. And it was great, man. Anyway, moving, plowing along here. You want to get into Geeking Out there, Steph?
Let's do it.
All right. Comic-Con LA, Stan Lee's Kamikaze.
Man, I remember the first couple years it was called Stan Lee's Kamikaze Con, and they changed it.
I think they changed it because, when you think of Stan Lee's Kamikaze Con, it implies that it's kind of tied directly to Marvel and everything Stan Lee that was about. But, they wanted to grow it into becoming more like the San Diego, New York Comic-Cons that are way more mainstream and way more ahead of any other con out there.
Yes. The reason why I like going to LA Comic Con is because there are so many more panels that give you behind the scenes topics rather than the mainstream. So for example, when you go to San Diego Comic Con, you expect all the high-end Marvel releases, right? All the summer blockbuster trailers that are going to come out. But LA Comic Con, you get a lot more interaction with artists. You get a lot more voiceover how-to classes or how to get it into the industry. I'm not saying that they're not there at the other cons, but I feel like this is more
accessible.
It's more accessible and it's more intimate setting for LA Comic Con. So it's that's why I like it.
It's nice. It's like, I don't know how to describe it. It's like the minor leagues for Comic Cons. Let's just say, somebody's injured and they're getting rehabbed and they're playing at the Rancho Cucamonga Quakes game. So you can go catch them playing there, like right in front of you.
Yeah.
Or you can catch them from the nosebleeds at Dodger Stadium, when they're all better again and they're back on the team. This year in particular, it wasn't so busy, I gotta say. Something tells me that they didn't throw a lot of money into marketing, and if they did, my God, what the hell? Because I don't think, at least to me, it didn't feel like the turnout was as large as previous years, but I like that. I like being able to move around without bumping into a bunch of people.
It was definitely a smaller turnout than last year.
Do you think it has something to do with it taking place in December? Because it used to take place around like the Halloween time. And by the way, next year it will be in October again.
I feel like it fluctuates.
Right.
Because there have been a couple years where it was in October, but I think primarily it's in December.
Well, it's colder. That's for sure. It's colder when it's in December. We've also gone in November. I want to say that it's gone down in November, but the closer it is to like October, I think the temperature's better. People are more in the mood to dress up because Halloween is on its way. I think it's just an overall better vibe when it's closer to Halloween than it is to the holidays.
Yes.
However, I know that you typically like going. Well, you like going, period, because that's when you buy your Christmas gifts for that year.
Yeah, essentially.
And then, the extra bonus of us walking around Comic-Con. But I don't know. If you're asking me, I'm excited for next year because it's going to take place in early October.
Oh, yeah. So a lot more Halloween vibes.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to look up the show info, like how many people attended.
They have those numbers?
They had the numbers.
126,000 fans
last year. So I don't think the stats are out for
2022.
Yeah, I don't think they released the stats for this year. But yeah, so compared to San Diego Comic-Con, that's nothing.
Yeah, how much would you say the San Diego Comic-Con holds in comparison?
Well, consider that San Diego Comic-Con are split into several different venues. So it's not just the convention center. They're at the library. They're at the surrounding areas.
That's true, because when Josh and I went, not to the Comic-Con per se, but we were there for that weekend and walked around San Diego, like downtown San Diego. And it's a party out there. Like, I was just as happy to be in the surrounding area of the Comic-Con than actually going in. And my God, did I get plastered that day.
You guys did a great job, like, finding different bars to hang out at. And then they were all
bar hopping. That's all we were doing.
They were all themed bars as well.
Yeah, like Kevin Smith did his Clerks. Hollywood Babylon had a podcast there. It was pretty cool, man. It was pretty cool. I think the museum had a Spider-Man exhibit. So, what are you looking for there?
I'm looking for how many people attended San Diego
with Steph
Comic-Con, but it's not giving it to me.
Oh well, let's just chalk it up to a lot.
A lot. It's a lot.
But back to the LA Comic-Con, what was your favorite part?
Definitely meeting or seeing Doug Brode again.
Doug Brode, man, what would you say? This is the third or fourth year that we've met him there at LA Comic-Con?
I think it's the third.
Because of the third book?
Yeah.
Okay. And you also caught him earlier this year at Alien Con, right?
Was that this year?
Or was that last year?
No, that was last year.
Oh, shit. Okay. Well, anyway, his audiobook is going to be coming out real soon for The Children of the Ship. Is that already out?
No, it's coming out.
It's coming out soon. And so that's
soon to be out.
That's going to be what I listened to. He gave us a little sneak peek of the first chapter of Children of the Ship, which is for those who aren't aware, Doug Brode is the author and a real cool acquaintance and friend of the show. He wrote this book called The Ship, and then Revenge of the Ship. Well, you have it there for those watching us on the video.
These are the books. So
we got the
first
ship.
one, the ship. I mean, just take a look at it. It's
Pretty
amazing.
Dope. Pretty dope.
Then we have The Ship's Revenge,
The
number
Shipping.
2. And our final, Children of the Ship.
Yeah. So, and that's the last book of this trilogy that puts it to bed, pretty much.
Correct.
Yeah.
And we have a special somebody on the cover.
That's his daughter.
That's right.
What's her name?
Leia, which we got to meet at LA Comic Con.
And so she was actually signing her autograph to anybody who wanted to have her sign the book for Children of the Ship, because it's pretty much her picture that he drew on the cover. Now, again, for those who aren't familiar with Doug Brode, we've talked about him tons of times here on the podcast, but he also does a lot of storyboarding for a lot of famous and popular movies that we've all enjoyed, like Thor and things like that. He did the that Dave Grohl movie, Studio 666 storyboarding, and he shared that with us. Let us at least see it. Very impressive artwork. He's a real hard worker. I understand he just sold something too. He sold like a series. And after writing it, he wrote it a long time ago, and now it was on a shelf. And it's been taken off the shelf, and he was able to sell it. So congratulations, because I know that's not easy, man. That's not easy to do in showbiz. So I wish him and his family all the best. And you interviewed Leia.
I did.
And,
I asked her a couple
and I actually have the video and audio here if you want to see it.
Yes, let's
All
do
right.
it.
It's going to be like 3 minutes. So here we go.
Hi, everybody. It's Stephanie from the Foosball Show. I'm here with Leia. Leia, what do you like most about being on the cover of your dad's third final book of the Ship trilogy?
That I can brag about it.
Did you choose what you were going to wear for the cover?
So I had to do multiple takes, and first I was just wearing my regular clothes, and then one night my dad was like, go downstairs, get out of bed, get onto that blue dress that you have that's strappy, and I got into it, and then my mom was downstairs, and then we did it. So I didn't basically pick what I wanted to wear. Basically, no.
How do you feel about aliens?
He's gonna want me to. Well,
you be honest.
Really, I don't feel anything about aliens. I just don't get anything about. Well, only when they're cute and they're animated, and that's what I like about aliens.
Okay.
When they're cute.
Cute and animated. If you had some sort of superpower like an alien, what would you have? Moving objects, or reading people's thoughts?
I would do invisibility, because you know what I could do with the invisibility?
What?
I could do whatever I wanted. I could do anything that I wanted. I could go to my friends' houses. I could open the door to my friends' houses. And so first I wouldn't be invisible, and I would say, okay, let's go to your house, and then me and her would be holding hands, and I could go into her house, and me and her could have a sleepover every single night.
There you go. You got to be careful with it, though, because invisibility, people are going to be looking for you.
No, they're not. No. They're not going to know about it. They're not going to know.
So you would sneak out of the house and then return?
Yeah.
Without anybody knowing?
Yeah.
All right, Mom and Dad, you better watch out. Okay, let's show the book one more time and let everybody know where they can get it.
On Amazon.
All right.
And at Comic-Con and places like that.
Hold it straight.
I can't. It's
Children of the Ship, the third installment for Doug Brode's The Ship trilogy. I'm here with Leia at LA Comic Con, and thank you.
Yeah, man. That was cool that they let us interview her daughter.
Yeah.
Or their daughter.
It seems like she's thought about that for a while.
Yeah. Maybe they practiced,
Invisibility.
Yeah, she's thought about that for sure. So, I mean, when you were a little kid, what was the power that you wish you had?
I wanted to fly.
Fly?
Because I used to live in an apartment complex with stairs, and I lived on a third floor.
Mm-hmm.
And I was the one that always carried the groceries up, and I hated it. And I always wanted to fly so I can just get the groceries and then just fly to the front door so I didn't have to walk up the steps.
Nice. I always toggled between super strength or being able to read people's thoughts.
Okay.
Because that you can definitely leverage the latter,
Yeah.
Get your way by just knowing what they're, what they want.
I can see. You can probably steer the conversation any which way you want it based on what you can hear them thinking about.
Exactly.
Or super strength.
I would just force them. Yeah. Flying is cool though, and invisibility, that's a solid one too.
You can definitely do a lot with that.
You can do a lot with that one.
Mm-hmm.
So.
But flying, I still kind of want that.
Yeah, I mean, you can drop into Disneyland at any whenever you want.
Yeah. Still got to wait in line though. I mean, you can fly to the front of the line, but they ain't gonna let you in.
No, but at least you don't have to pay the entrance fee and parking and all that jazz.
Well, I guess
you're already in.
Yeah.
All right, cool, man.
Yeah. So, Children of the Ship, the audiobook is actually out right now. It came out on the 7th.
Okay, so it's been out for 4 days now.
Yep.
Sweet.
Find it on Audible. You can buy the book on Amazon.
Very cool.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Or Alien Sky Publishing.
Sweet. What else did we see over at the old Comic Con?
We stayed for a couple panels. So
there was a couple of Spider-Man based panels that we saw, right?
Yeah. So one of the panels we had seen, I'm trying to read it right now. Have you heard of the story about Superior Spider-Man?
Only because of the panel. But what do you got there?
So Superior Spider-Man was a story that developed like 10 years ago, and now they're bringing it back. So what happened was Doc Ock actually defeated Spider-Man and took over Spider-Man's body, his mind. So Spider-Man is Doc Ock.
They switched?
So Peter Parker is dead. He is dead. He is not coming back in this story.
Mm-hmm.
And Superior Spider-Man is Doc Ock. And so they're bringing it back. And Spider-Boy is going to be in there. And they were talking about how Spider-Boy has no powers at all. He didn't lose Uncle Ben. He didn't get bit by a radioactive spider. And he's just he's just a boy.
Mm-hmm.
So he gets to live his entire life with Uncle Ben. Meanwhile, there's a Superior Spider-Man, and then all the shenanigans that go on with that.
Interesting.
Yeah.
All right.
Superior Spider-Man. This installment just came out last month.
I understand that there's a cliffhanger to it, and they're gonna tie it all. Like they're gonna bring back Peter Parker, but in a new way.
Yes.
Like something that's never been done before. Like they're not going to use magic. They're not going to use like the multiverse or anything like that. It's just going to be something new or like time travel. So that's going to be interesting.
Right? Just regular old superhero stuff. No multiverse.
Lazarus Pit?
No, that's a different universe. That's a different universe altogether.
That's DC.
And then another panel that we stayed for, which is also another Spider-Man or I think it was the same Spider-Man panel. It's just a different,
different person,
different storyboard artist, person. Mary Jane's Meet Dazzler. It's Spider-Gwen Smash #1. So if you remember in Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse.
Okay.
Spider-Gwen was a drummer. She was in a band.
Right.
So this kind of explores the Dazzler and...
The band?
The band.
Okay.
And Spider-Gwen is going about her shenanigans. I don't really know the story for
And
this.
then, like, they fight the Hulk or something? Or a Hulk?
There is a Hulk.
A variant?
That looks like he's pretty, like a beastie Hulk.
Yeah.
He's kind of fuzzy.
Yeah. He's not like the Hulk that we know. It's like a variant Hulk.
Yeah.
For this universe, at least. But yeah, he's hairy. He's furry. And he crashes one of their concerts, I guess.
An assassin has set their sights on the headliner, which is their band, which means Spider-Gwen may have to trade her drumsticks for her web shooter sooner than she anticipated.
Wow.
Wow. This is going to come out. When is this going to come out?
Soon.
Soon. They released some of the panels already, but there are no text to it.
The artwork is pretty dope.
Yeah. It's kind of reminiscent of, what is it, Gem and the Holograms? Is that the band? Do you remember that?
Afraid not.
Gem and the Holograms. Really?
What's that?
Gem and the Holograms.
Googling with Steph.
It was like a superhero thing.
Oh. Well, I guess it was.
Gem and the Holograms. American animated musical television series.
Like a Josie
that
and the
ran from
Pussycats?
1985 to 1968.
88.
Oh, so whoops.
Yeah.
85 to 88, sorry.
Yeah.
Starlet Music, her alter ego Gem, lead singer of the rock group The Holograms. This is great pod. I don't know much about Gem and the Holograms.
Well, you're the one who Googled it.
I'm just saying that the animation looks similar. Not the animation, but the flair of the Mary Janes.
Yeah. I get
Looks
that.
very similar. And that's what it reminded me. Is Gem and the Holograms.
Right on.
Very 80s-esque. Anyway, they get into their spider shenanigans and we'll see what happens. But those are two Spider-Man stories that you should look into.
Mm-hmm.
Because Spider-Man is awesome.
Oh, and this video game that we stopped to play, Comp 2, QOMP, and then the number 2. It's like Pong, but if Pong was in like 3D, and
no, it's still 2D.
Sort of, yeah, you're right, I guess. But it let's see what control a pong ball aching to break free of its life stuck between two paddles. Explore a dangerous minimalist world armed with simple 2-button controls. Tap a button to change direction by 90 degrees and hold down a button to unleash a cathartic dash forward. That's all you need to solve environmental puzzles and labyrinth levels. Around each corner is a new challenge that will test your 2-button and problem-solving skills. A variety of difficult enemies and bosses help you mark your time as you navigate through 30 levels spread across 4 worlds. So it's a puzzle game.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, well, and it's. Would you compare it with any other game you've ever played with?
No, it's definitely a Pong game. It feels like a Pong game.
It's Pong,
but you have to like smash your way out of it.
Right. And you go around corners and you really have to get used to the physics of it and the 90-degree turn that it allows you to do.
It's almost like a brick breaker type of scenario.
Yeah.
This is
very entertaining.
It is. They had the first 3 levels on display at the booth, and I do not know how to play this game properly because I couldn't figure out the angles.
Yeah.
And it was all slow. And, you're screaming at me, just keep pressing the buttons. Because every time, there's literally only 2 controls.
Yeah.
One is to turn the ball 90 degrees.
Yeah.
Back and forth 90 degrees. So you can 90 degree your way up to a corner of the screen. And the other one is to...
like to charge up.
Yeah. Charge and release.
Right. And when you release, it goes fast, so that when you hit something, you can potentially break it or move it.
Yeah. And it sounds so simple, but also very difficult at the same time.
You get used to it. Once you do, it's not easy, but it helps. Once you do get used to it. I see here that it's coming out on PlayStation, Switch, Xbox, Atari.
The sourdough bread.
The sourdough bread that is Xbox, yeah.
I forgot who mentioned it. I think somebody sent us a post about the Xbox logo. And now all I can see is sourdough bread.
The designer used to make sourdough bread, and that's why the logo looks the way it does with that X, because when you make sourdough bread, you put an X on. It's sourdough bread, for fuck's sake.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
Sourdough bread.
Cool.
And so, yeah, I'm excited. Release date, TBD. There's no release date yet. The developer studio is Graphite Lab.
Cool. And then lastly, what's the last thing you wanted to talk about for Comic-Con?
Wait, one more thing. We saw Claudio from Coheed and Cambria.
That's right.
/ the Prize Fighter Inferno. I got my brother's blood machine signed. And so if you know anything about Coheed and Cambria or the Prize Fighter Inferno, is those bands have a concept right behind them, because their albums are usually concept albums, and they have storylines behind them that coincide with a comic book. So a lot of the Coheed and Cambria albums coincide with what we know as the Amore Wars. And so it's like this big universal scale type of war. Sci-fi. There's different characters that you hear in the songs, and they come out into the stories. It's almost like, page by page type of thing. And so my brother's blood machine is from his other band called Prize Fighter Inferno, and it's a story about this girl wanting to get out of a abusive family, high school misfit, wrongfully accused of murder. This town called Margaretville is in trouble. I'm going to read you the description in the back. But its residents couldn't possibly grasp the disturbing darkness looming beneath the surface of their otherwise picturesque village, where an abominable secret has awakened in the woods, yearning for salvation. The times they are a churning. So I like this story. It's really dark.
You already read it?
Bloody. Very, very dark, bloody. This is not for kids.
Nice.
Definitely adult themed concepts there, and give it a try.
Hell yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Hell yeah. Well, that was fun, getting in line and meeting Claudio briefly. It was him and his wife, right?
Yes. So Cambria also has her own book that she released, and it's all these nice poems. It just came out. So that was a new release from them.
Cool. Well, last but not least, Steph, you wanna talk about Derpy?
My favorite.
Podzilla. We haven't done a Podzilla in a while.
The Fubar Show presents Podzilla.
Yeah, man, we saw Godzilla -1 in theaters this weekend, and it's the best Godzilla ever made.
Ever.
And it's by the Toho Studios, Japanese, so it's a Japanese movie. It is in Japanese, so if you hate reading subtitles, fucking suck it up, because this is a great movie.
Oh my God, amazing.
Now, we're not going to spoil anything, so don't worry about that unless Steph does something stupid.
Well, what had happened was...
But I gotta say that they do something special that has worked in other properties, like the first few seasons of Walking Dead, where it's very much a human experience type of story, but that happens to have zombies in the background, or in this case, Godzilla is going down in the background, destroying parts of Japan. They take this back to post World War II. What are we talking, like the late 40s, early 50s, right?
I think it's no, there's a timeline within the movie. So I think it starts off at 1945.
Something like that. Yeah.
Right at the end.
And there's a little bit of not a whole lot of time jumps, but there is there's time jumps.
A little bit.
Yeah.
It's not too much, not too crazy.
But it doesn't go from forward to back, it just goes forward.
Yeah.
To tell the story. Which I like. I like that they did that. I like when we watch a movie here in the United States about World War II, we see it from our perspective, from the winner's perspective.
Right.
And, this was an opportunity for Japan, or for any studio really, to come out with a movie showing it from the opposite's perspective. I don't think I've ever seen a story or movie from the Japanese's perspective of them losing the war and everybody dealing with that.
I don't know. We haven't.
This is I think the first time, seeing something like that, and what goes through their mind. I mean, not only did they see a bunch of fucked up shit in during the war, but now they have to live with a world where they lost that war, where they saw so much death and destruction, not only out in the war fields, but also in their homeland.
Yeah. So you see them kind of have to rebuild everything.
They're rebuilding Japan and their home. And then you have Godzilla to reckon with too now.
Yeah, because he's not on anybody's radar for the longest.
Yeah, so
I don't want to say it. See, I almost ruined it.
You almost ruined it.
I almost ruined it.
But let's just put it in simple terms. I mean, it's about a soldier. I'm not ruining anything by saying this, but it's about a soldier going through PTSD.
Yes, that's exactly what's happening.
And him dealing with his own struggle and coming to terms with himself, because there's another story at large about why he survived. And why he is kind of going out of his way to be the hero to save everybody from the Godzilla attack. Now, if you all remember from the very, very first Godzilla movie, they killed him with using that oxygen destroyer.
Yeah.
Chemical, whatever. I like what they did here, where they...
Are you going to say it? You can't say it.
I'm not saying anything. But I like what they did here, where they the fight, they took it to the ocean. In their own... They used physics, and they explained that well.
Okay.
I thought, when they gather everybody who wants to fight together.
I mean, all of that's in the trailer.
Yeah. Not ruining anything like that. But they used physics to try to defeat him. And that made a lot of sense. And then at the end of the story, of course, I can't
say it.
I can't say it.
Stop talking.
But there's
just don't say it.
There's a cliffhanger. We haven't seen the last of Derpy doing his derpiness. And can we talk about his derpiness?
Oh my God.
This is probably the derpiest. So the way I describe it, when we were leaving the theater, I'm like, you were saying how you really, really loved what they did with his dead eyes when he's looking at you.
Oh man, that was my favorite part.
And the best way I can describe it was, when Will Ferrell, when he just gives you his dead eyes, and he just goes into that character that he's doing, I don't know, let's just say Anchorman.
Yeah.
Or any one of his characters, when he's playing a straight-faced, but he's just doing something wacky. That's what it reminded me of. And it was amazing. And when he uses his blaster, his what did they call it? The
heat ray.
The heat ray. It's like an atomic bomb, and then the way they do it, man, it's just crisp. Oh my God.
Yes.
So good. So good. And yeah, when he's fully formed, then he's walking throughout Japan, and very much he doesn't have a whole lot of dexterity. It's very much like the old Derpy that we know and love, of him just kind of strolling through
He's just walking on.
He's just walking
on land because he's been in the ocean.
And he's not very fast, but he's very destructive.
He's a thick boy.
He's very thick. So I like that they still kept a lot of the elements of the original Godzillas.
Yeah, and that's probably why this movie works so well, because there's all the source material that they pulled from and they kept it.
Yeah.
It's not like they don't have to reinvent the wheel.
And they gave us an amazing story, like a very human story behind it.
Yeah. And that's probably why this is getting such high reviews.
Dude, it got 97 on Rotten Tomatoes, 98 audience score.
That's amazing. For a Godzilla movie.
For a Godzilla movie that's not even in English.
Yeah.
You know, it's a Japanese movie. It runs 2 hours and 5 minutes. I think the pacing of this movie is great. Like, it needed to be 2 hours and 5 minutes. I don't think there was 1 minute wasted in this movie.
No, they did everything spot on.
I gotta say this, so for me, and I know that we're in the tail end of 2023, this is the best movie of 2023.
Yes, agreed.
And
the best movie of the year.
I'm not only saying that because I'm a big nerd. I'm not saying that because here at the Foo Bar Show, we enjoy ourselves a good derpy, good dose of derpiness with Godzilla movies. For fuck's sake, we have a segment called Podzilla for that we've had for years. But it's genuinely a really, really good movie.
Yes. I am going to give this a 10 out of 10.
Yeah. It's not hard to rate this one. And I'd say it for me, it gets a perfect score.
Mm-hmm.
Character development, the action sequences are amazing. The way that they explain their motives of why they're doing what they're doing and how they're going to go about doing it, they just waste no time. There's no minute, second wasted in this movie, and you're enjoying every freaking second of it. They wasted no. They didn't pull back any punches with this one.
Yeah.
I'm just so happy with it, and I'm down to go watch it again.
Yes, you're just heavily invested in each one of the characters.
Mm-hmm.
Like the time they spent for the character development was just the right amount of time. I feel like any less and you would not build that relationship.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why the movie works so well.
Yeah.
Prior to this, my favorite movie was the very first Godzilla movie.
From 1950 something?
Yes,
Yeah.
1954, I think.
Three or four, something like that. Yeah.
We have the poster around here somewhere. Right there. Yeah, that was my favorite one because it was right here. It's on the side because our frame
it's
broke.
Japanese though.
Yeah. Well, we know what it says.
Let me guess. Does it say Godzilla on it?
Derp.
He's super derpy in that first one.
It was like a 300-pound suit that he had to walk through. Yeah. So this one definitely takes the top. And I'm going to have to put that, the very first Godzilla movie at the number 2 spot.
Yeah. Out of all the Godzilla movies, even the new American ones, like where would you rank that? What would be your top 3? Taking into account all of the Godzillas that have ever come out, American or Japanese.
So having seen -1, this is now my number 1.
Yeah.
My number 2 is the very first 1953 Godzilla.
Okay.
And let's just go top 3. The other one was Godzilla, King of the Monsters.
Okay,
the American one, yes.
Okay, the first
with
one.
Mothra.
Yeah.
And is that the one with Ghidorah?
Yeah.
Yes.
So. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I got to say that, of course, this was the best one for me. And then I really enjoyed the shit out of Godzilla vs. Kong.
That was a good one.
That was a really good one. And Godzilla 2000.
Yeah, I couldn't.
You keep thinking that that's the Matthew Broderick one, and it's not.
No, I think we saw it this year.
Okay.
The Godzilla 2000. That's the one with the spaceship hanging overhead and sucking all the energy out.
Is it?
Yes.
I think you're confusing it with a different one.
No.
Anyway.
I'm not thinking about the lizard one. The lizard-looking Matthew Broderick one, where he lays all the eggs.
Well, it came out in the same year, I think. Godzilla 2000 and that Matthew Broderick one.
Broderick?
I can't say.
Wadwick?
I'm hunting wabbits.
Duck season.
Yeah. So go see it if you haven't seen it. They might pull it from the theater soon, unless it continues to get like awesome reviews and it starts making.
It just came out,
but they had to renew it. Like it was only supposed to be out for an X amount of time because it's a Japanese like they didn't know what to make of it here in the States. Like they didn't know how to plan for it. So it only was supposed to be out for a couple weeks, and then they extended it because of the response that it's been getting. So I don't know how much longer we've got until they pull it. So go see it.
Yes.
And report back, for fuck's sake. It's a really good movie.
I know. I would like to revisit this on a Podzilla and like break this down piece by piece.
Oh, when enough time has gone by?
Yeah, so we don't spoil it for anybody.
Yeah.
Maybe when we come back.
Yeah, maybe.
We'll be right back.
Maybe by the time we come back from our break here from the holiday break. It'll probably be out on streaming or something.
We're gonna give you 1 month.
All right, you got till mid-January.
Exactly.
Now, you were reading something that they have opened this up to its own universe now. Like there's going to be more movies that will be direct sequels to this -1 movie.
Yeah. So Toho, I don't think Toho officially announced it yet, but there is going to be its own universe. I mean, it's probably going to be similar to what we saw during the first era of Godzilla movies, which it was like the same Godzilla, just fighting different monsters, right?
Right.
And then that's when Godzilla like transitioned from being our nemesis to now being our friend because all these other monsters started appearing, and we started using Godzilla as an attack point on those monsters.
Yes. He was an anti-hero at a certain point.
Yeah.
Yeah, because he still would fuck up Tokyo.
I mean, yeah.
At any chance he got. It's funny, when we were walking around Comic-Con, I saw this poster that somebody made that says, "What would Godzilla do?" And I'm like, so whenever you're confused as to whenever you're having a bad day or something, you look at that poster and what would Godzilla do? You're right, Derpy. I'll go destroy Tokyo. That's what Godzilla would do. Thank you.
No doubt about it.
Yeah. Good stuff, man. Good stuff. Is that going to do it for Podzilla?
Yeah, I think so.
I think that's also going to do it for Geeking Out, right?
That'll do it.
And the show. Thanks for everybody who's been listening in, especially this year. I know there's been a lot of holes in our programming. We've been real busy. Steph going to school, me starting a brand new band, Shoelace Express. Go check us out in this coming year. We're going to have a lot of shows lined up that you all can attend if you're around the Southern California area. A lot more news to come, too. So I'm excited to continue the pod into 2024. Let's see what other kind of bullshit we come up with.
Yeah. Hopefully we'll be more available for guests and some more events that we can bring you.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anything else there, Steph?
Take care of yourself this winter season. Don't forget to wash your hands because, I'm always yelling at you to keep your body clean.
Right.
Stay safe and go find something new and let us know about it.
Yeah.
And we'll talk about it.
Yeah, report back if you find anything that's that you think that we would like, send it in, man. Our email is foobarshow, that's FOOBarshow @gmail.com. Also, if you go to foobarshow.com, you'll have an opportunity there to send us like a voicemail too. You can drop a line, or even just send a voice message through an email too. That works too. We'll play it on the show and all that good stuff. So I think that's gonna do it. For 2023. Stay safe. Don't be a dick. And we'll see you all next year. I mean, if I post something else at the end of this year, it won't be like a drawn out episode like this one. It'll probably just be a bunch of clips, like drops and shit like that we've been playing for the intros and outros of our of this year.
Yeah, we're gonna do a best of.
Probably, maybe not. We'll see. You might get something like that. I usually do.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, thank you all so very much for listening into the Foo Bar Show. And a special thanks to you Foos who subscribe, rate, review, and share the pod with your fellow Foos. Remember to follow, like, and comment on our Instagram at Foo Bar Show. That's FOO Bar Show. And we'll foo it up like a couple of Foos. I've been Josie.
And I'm Steph.
Signing off saying, don't be a dick.
Fuck, man. Thank you, guys.
Danny, in Wisconsin, you're live with Stephen A. What's up, Danny? Talk to me.
Stephen A. Smith, when you think about the GOAT of sports, you think about Mike with 6, Brady with 7 rings, but where do you rank a guy like Lightning McQueen with 7 Piston Cups?
I would tell you he wouldn't be the GOAT. How are you going to be the GOAT? Because you talk about the movie Cars, right? I mean, when you talk about Strip the King Weathers and Lightning McQueen, they're both tied with 7 Piston Cups. Strip Weathers, you forgot about him? How can you be the GOAT? You got somebody that's tied with you? You got somebody that's tied with you? Sorry, that ain't gonna work. Well, I know you tried to catch me with that. You didn't think I knew about that. You didn't think I knew about Cars, did you?
When you think about Lightning McQueen, it's not
you slept on
7 Piston Cups. He's got 28 circuits. He got 28 circuits under his belt too.
Strip Weathers has 7 Piston Cups. I am not about to sit here and argue with a grown-ass man about the movie Cars.
Oh, come on now,
Strip Weathers has 7 Piston Cups. You should have brought me somebody that didn't have as many Piston Cups.
Old engine cars.
Yo, man.
Let's talk about a guy Lightning McQueen. That's like comparing him to Jerry West era. You can't.
Danny, how old are you?
I'm 21, Stephen.
You're 21. Okay, well, you're still a young man. You're a young man. What about Fast and Furious? You watched that movie?
Yeah, Fast and Furious. Good film.
Which one did you like better, 5, 6, or 7? I mean, 8, 9, and 10 are good too, but which one did you like better, 5, 6, or 7? Because I like 5 to 7.
5.
You like 5? That was with Vin Diesel and The Rock going at it when The Rock was trying to hunt him down and all of that other stuff. What I'm saying to you is I think you picked the right one because I liked 5 a lot. I really, really did. My point is if you're going to argue with me about something, how about it not be an animated movie like Cars? How about it be something like Fast and Furious? I would have appreciated the question better.
Cars is as real to little kids as much
You're not a little kid! You're 21! You would have a point if you were 7 years old calling me. You're 21 years old. What are you doing, wearing a diaper? Goodbye, man.